We are talking now about tips for getting additional catechists. And this is always a concern because perhaps you've already secured, and you may have mentioned that earlier, you've already secured some commitments from your catechist toward the end of the last school year for the upcoming year, but there's always a need for a few additional catechists. So, what kind of pointers can you offer us tonight?
I want to preface this with saying probably every parish catechetical leader that I know completely stresses out and loses sleep at this time of year about will there be enough catechists. So guess what? Every year there are. Follow my own advice and not lose sleep, but continue to pray unceasingly for God to send the right people. Being said, yes, we do before the end of the school year, we have an appreciation mass and reception for all of our catechists and volunteers. And at that time, we give them cards to say, tell us what you'd like to do next year. And some of them are ready to commit at that time, but by no means do we have a full roster. So, and again, if we've changed times, that might not work for some people that previously taught. The most effective, I think, everybody's invitation. You know, like I see how you are with kids. We would love for you to join our team. We have a lot of fun. Like, who doesn't want to talk to kids about Jesus and walk with them? So that personal invitation is the easiest, but probably the most time consuming. So that being said, you know, pulpit announcements, definitely the priest, if he's willing to talk at the end of Mass or beginning of Mass, to invite people to, as your baptismal role, spreading the good news. People, like, probably the number one reason is people think they don't know enough about their faith, but they do know enough. You know, if they love Jesus and they love kids and they can read, I think they can teach. So, and I think most of the shift too, like, has turned toward, it's not like what you think of years ago, CCD, but it's really accompanying children. So, like, who can't do that? Walk with kids, right? And ask the right questions and say, now we're going to do this activity. So I think just assuring people that, yes, you can do this. So please give it a try. You know, you're not alone. There's another adult in the classroom with you.
Right.
So just really trying to encourage people to do that. Again, don't underestimate the power of prayer, that you just pray for people to come and he will. Of course, having it in your bulletin, your website, social media. And I think as you get to this point in the year where we're getting closer to starting our catechetical program, saying that our specific needs, like I need a 4-year-old teacher for Sunday mornings. I need, you know, 3rd grade on Tuesday at 4:00. And if it's a specific need, somehow that resonates with people. That are more, be creative in the way you market. I love that God doesn't always call the qualified, the called. So come and see. You're not making a lifetime commitment. You're not signing like a 3-year contract. And if it's not for you and it's not working out, by all means, no one wants you to be on toe, but just come see, put your toe in the water. You and God go together with this group of kids or teens. And if all else fails, I'm not above resorting to guilt. Catholic guilt, you know. We did one year when we needed 3rd grade on Monday, and at Sunday we said, hey, if you're a 3rd grader, stand up. And then we told the congregation, look, these kids have no one to teach them. Who will help them? And we did get probably 4 that said, yes, we're willing to help. But that's my last resort. Like, I really want you to do it because you want to try and see where God will take you. And just assure them that,
I love that.
Support, you know, there's support along the way, that the resources, the textbooks, the staff is here. We do a retreat so that you will feel fully comfortable and equipped when you walk into a room filled with kids, teens, or adults.
Wow, that's awesome. So I feel really encouraged by what you just said, that, you know, those are a lot of tips in different ways that you can approach getting more catechists, because like you said, even though you've been doing this for so long, you still get nervous about it.
Oh, and we also have in the church narthex, we're allowed to have a display. So we usually, you know, have some resources out and we list the people who have already volunteered, and it shows where there's open spaces. And I think I might have used this strategy on you one year, Steve, but like if I haven't heard from you, I put your name on the board until you tell me you're not doing it. Starting people who you already have a relationship with. And then it's like like, people know someone who you think would be an awesome catechist. Talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me their name. I'll call them. I'll be happy, to share with them about the program.
Right. What's your retention rate for catechists? Do you know?
We're at about 60%, which is, we have probably about 200. And that's because there's 2 in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
But God bless them. Most of them see it as their vocation. And I really do credit that to our staff and forming them, giving them opportunities to form themselves as catechetical leaders.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we will be discussing next week on part 2 of Start Me Up, Getting Ready for the New School Year, is catechist formation. Because once we get them to say yes and add their name to that board in the narthex, we need to get them ready, because we owe that to them so that they do have the confidence, just like we've talked about over the past half hour or so, getting ourselves ready for the new school year. We want to make sure that they're ready. So that's one of the topics we'll be talking about next week. We'll be continuing the conversation about how to get ready for next year. So any last minute words of encouragement, words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our viewers about getting ready for the new school year?
Just as you start to plan, pray. I can't stress whatever I'm doing. I'm like, okay, God, here we go. Just open my heart, open my mind, show me the path for others. So that would be my big thing, is just to pray, and sometimes just to sit quietly in adoration, if available at your parish or the church, and be open to where He wants you to lead others to Him. They're like, I'm so glad you asked me. I don't think I would have ever taken that chance if you didn't show your confidence in me that I could do this.
Right.
So, being at all the masses sometimes helps. That after, if Father made an announcement from the altar for our staff to be in the foyer to answer any questions, you see people that you don't regularly see, typically go to the same mass, and say, hey, where have you been? Come along, come, it's your time.